This video is about the teacher was mocked, but a tycoon stepped in. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. In the heart of a bustling city, where the skyscrapers kissed the clouds, stood Lincoln High School. It was a place where dreams were nurtured and futures were forged, but it was also a battleground for unyielding societal pressures. Among the dedicated staff, there was a teacher named Ms. Claire Henderson. She was a gentle spirit, known for her unwavering belief in her students' potential. Claire was not your typical teacher. With frizzy hair often pulled into a messy bun and oversized glasses perched on her nose, she radiated warmth and empathy. She taught English with a passion that ignited the souls of her students, making stories come alive. Yet she faced relentless challenges. The school's funding was dwindling, and many students came from broken homes where education was a luxury. One cold winter morning, Claire walked into her classroom, greeted by chorus of yawns and sleepy faces. She had prepared a lesson on resilience, inspired by her favorite novel, The Alchemist. She believed that every student had a personal legend and essential purpose waiting to be discovered. "Good morning, everyone. Today, we're diving into the world of dreams and journeys," she said, her voice warm as a cup of cocoa. The students, however, were less than enthusiastic. Some were scrolling through their phones, while others whispered jokes about her outdated teaching style. "Ms. Henderson, do we really have to listen to your dreams and journeys talk again? It is so boring," the boy named Jake called out, igniting a ripple of laughter. Undeterred, Claire smiled gently. "I know it might seem repetitive, but each of you has a unique dream. The journey to achieve it is what makes it special." The laughter subsided, but the mockery lingered. Behind the jokes lay a deeper issue. Many students felt trapped in their circumstances, and mocking hope felt safer than embracing it. Still, Claire pressed on, sharing stories of famous figures who overcame adversity. Yet, when she looked into the eyes of her students, she saw more than just disengagement. She saw fear and a yearning for something greater. Later that day, as Claire left school, she felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. Walking home through the cold, she couldn't shake the feeling of despair that crowded her mind. What if they never believe in themselves, she wondered. Across town, a different world thrived. Nathaniel Cotter, a self-made tycoon, was attending a lavish gala. Clad in a tailored suit, he was the epitome of success. But beneath the polished exterior lay a man who had once been a lost boy, struggling to find his way. Nathaniel had grown up in a neighborhood much like Claire's students, surrounded by poverty and crime. However, he had a teacher who believed in him, a man who saw potential where others saw failure. That belief had propelled Nathaniel to greatness. Now he used his wealth to give back, investing in education initiatives. As Nathaniel mingled with the elite, he couldn't dismiss the nagging feeling that something was missing in his life. Amid the laughter and clinking glasses, he felt disconnected. "Is this all there is?" he pondered. His eyes landed on a news article displayed on a nearby screen, featuring Claire and her struggles to inspire her students amidst the mocking. "In a world of doubt, one teacher stands strong," it read. Nathaniel was intrigued. The next morning, he found himself sitting in a cozy cafe, contemplating the article. The words echoed in his mind, reminding him of his own journey. Nathaniel recalled the teacher who had uplifted him in a similar way. Inspired, he decided to visit Lincoln High School. That afternoon, as Claire prepared for her next class, she received an unexpected guest. The door swung open, and in walked Nathaniel, exuding an aura of confidence and warmth. "Ms. Henderson, I am Nathaniel Carter. I read about your work and wanted to meet you," he said, his voice deep and rich. Claire was taken aback. "Oh, thank you for coming. I hope you were not here to mock my teaching methods," she joked, trying to ease her nervousness. "Not at all," he replied, chuckling. "I am here to understand how I can help. I believe in the power of education, just like you do." Claire's heart raced. Could this be the break she desperately needed? "I appreciate that. It is a tough environment here, and my students need support, both emotional and financial." Nathaniel nodded, his expression earnest. "What if we partnered to create a program that not only inspires them, but also provides scholarships? I want to help them chase their dreams." Tears sprang to Claire's eyes, a mixture of disbelief and hope flooding her heart. "That would be incredible. My students need more than just hope. They need tangible opportunities." As they discussed ideas, Claire felt a spark of renewed energy. Nathaniel's genuine interest ignited a flame of hope within her. Together, they envisioned workshops, mentorship programs, and scholarships to elevate the students' lives. Days turned into weeks as they worked tirelessly to bring their vision to life. Nathaniel visited the school often, sharing his story of resilience with the students. His presence lifted their spirits, transforming the mockery into admiration. One afternoon, as Nathaniel shared his journey with Claire's class, something shifted. "I was once in your shoes, feeling lost and unsure," he said, his voice steady. "But I learned that challenges are just stepping stones towards greatness." The students listened intently, captivated by his authenticity. Jake, the boy who once mocked Claire, was now leaning forward, eyes wide with curiosity. "Do you really think we can change our lives?" he asked, vulnerability peeking through his bravado. Nathaniel smiled warmly. "Absolutely. Each of you holds the power to change your story. It starts with believing in yourself and taking that first step." With each visit, Nathaniel became a beacon of hope, guiding the students through their fears. Claire watched in awe as her classroom transformed. The laughter that once echoed mockery now resonated with dreams and aspirations. Yet challenges persisted. Not all students were receptive. Some clung to their doubts, convinced their circumstances would never change. Claire often found herself in tears after tough classes, wondering if she was making a difference. One evening, she called Nathaniel, her voice quivering. "I feel like I am failing them, Nathaniel. Some of them just want to believe in themselves, no matter what we do." "Nobody said it would be easy, Claire," he responded softly. "But remember, change takes time. Your belief in them is a seed. It might not bloom immediately, but with patience and care, it will." His words resonated deeply, giving Claire the strength to continue. She decided to host a special event, a dream day where students could showcase their aspirations and talents. With Nathaniel's support, they planned a celebration that would encourage every student to share their story. As Dream Day approached, excitement buzzed in the air. Students painted murals, crafted presentations, and practiced performances. Claire felt a rush of pride as she watched them transform from reluctant participants into eager contributors. Finally, the day arrived. The auditorium buzzed with energy as students filled the seats. Claire stood at the front, her heart racing. Nathaniel sat among the audience, beaming with encouragement. One by one, students took the stage. Jake shared his poetry about overcoming fear, while another student showcased a painting that represented hope amidst chaos. Claire felt tears prick her eyes as she witnessed the magic of resilience unfolding before her. When the last student finished, the room erupted in applause. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the power of belief and perseverance. After the event, Claire found Nathaniel in the hallway, a proud smile on his face. "You did this, Claire. You ignited a spark in them." "Thank you for believing in me, Nathaniel," she replied, her voice trembling with gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you." Together, they realized that while the challenges were far from over, they had planted seeds of hope in the hearts of those students. As they looked towards the future, they knew that every effort, every moment of kindness, could lead to a wave of change. And so, in a world often shrouded in doubt, a teacher and a tycoon were forging a path toward resilience, inspiring a generation to dream and to dare. As the applause from Dream Day faded, Claire Henderson felt the weight of a world lifted from her shoulders. The students, once lost in mockery and despair, had transformed into a tapestry of stories woven from resilience and hope. She watched as they reveled in their accomplishments, laughter ringing through the air like music, a symphony of triumph echoing off the walls of Lincoln High School. Nathaniel Carter stood beside her, his presence a calming force amid the joyous chaos. "You know," he said, leaning slightly towards Claire, "this is just the beginning. They want to dream, and you've shown them how." Claire turned to him, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you, Nathaniel. Your belief in them sparked something I thought we had lost." "Your unwavering support gave them the strength to believe in themselves," he replied, his voice warm and assuring. "We were in this together." Little did they know that the journey ahead would test their resolve in ways they could never have imagined. In the weeks that followed Dream Day, the school's atmosphere shifted noticeably. Students who once walked the halls with their heads down now carried their dreams like banners bright and unyielding. But for some, the shadows of doubt and fear lingered, threatening to dim the light of their newfound hope. Jake, the boy who had once mocked Claire, found himself struggling under the weight of expectations. After sharing his poetry on stage, he felt a rush of validation, yet his insecurities crept in late at night, whispering that he was still just a kid from the wrong side of town. One afternoon, he found himself sitting on a bench outside, staring off into the distance. "Hey, Jake," Claire called out as she spotted him. She approached gingerly, unsure of what she might find. "You okay?" He sighed deeply, running a hand through his hair. I don't know a mess, Henderson. I feel like everyone expects me to be this great poet now, but what if I can't do it? Expectations can be heavy, Claire acknowledged, sitting beside him. But remember, you're not alone in this. It is okay to feel scared. What matters is that you keep trying. Jake looked down, his heart heavy. But what if I fail? What if they see I am not good enough? Failure is part of the journey, Jake, Claire replied gently. The truth is, every person you admire has faced setbacks. It is how we learn and grow. What is important is that you keep writing, keep dreaming. He glanced at her, uncertainty etched on his face. You really think it is okay to fail? I know it is, she smiled. What matters is that you rise again, stronger than before. You've already taken the first step by sharing your work. That is something to be proud of. Her words hung in the air, lingering like an encouraging breeze. Slowly, Jake nodded, feeling a flicker of hope ignite within him. Meanwhile, Nathaniel was busy at his office devising plans for their next initiative, the Rise and Shine mentorship program. He understood that while inspiration had kindled dreams, it was the practical support that would help them take flight. He envisioned a series of workshops that would connect the students with mentors from various fields. As he sat at his desk, he remembered the teacher who had once believed in him. He vowed to be that beacon for Claire's students. With each passing day, the urgency of their mission grew stronger. He called Claire to discuss the details. Claire, I've been thinking, Nathaniel said, his voice filled with excitement. What if we brought in professionals from different industries, writers, artists, entrepreneurs? They could host workshops to guide and empower the student. I love that idea, Claire exclaimed, her enthusiasm palpable. It would be incredible for them to see what is possible, but we still need funding to make this happen. I'll handle that, Nathaniel assured her. I'll reach out to the community and local businesses. They'll want to invest in the future of these kids. Thank you, Nathaniel, Claire said, her heart swelling at his commitment. You be making such a difference. As they hung up, the weight of their vision hung in the air, filled with promise. Yet the community's support came with challenges. Nathaniel soon realized that not everyone was as enthusiastic about investing in education for underprivileged youth. At a local business meeting, Nathaniel faced a group of skeptical business owners. I believe we have a responsibility to invest in our youth, he began, hoping to ignite a spark of interest. One businessman scoffed. Why should we fund a bunch of kids who may never amount to anything? It is a waste of resources. Nathaniel took a breath, his heart pounding. Because those kids are the future. They have the potential to change our community. With the right support, they can achieve greatness, just like I did. But what if they don't? The businessman challenged, crossing his arms. What if they just fall back into their old lives? Then we'll be there to catch them, Nathaniel responded, his voice steady. We can't let fear dictate our actions. Investing in their education is an investment in our community's future. The room was silent, the air thick with contemplation. Nathaniel felt the weight of every judgmental glance, but stood firm, fueled by the belief that every student mattered. Back at Lincoln High, Claire noticed a shift in Jake. He was no longer consumed by his insecurities. With newfound determination, he began to write daily. Claire encouraged him, offering feedback and support. One day, she found him in the library, surrounded by books. Jake, have you thought about submitting your poetry to a contest? She asked, her eyes shining with excitement. He paused, his fingers brushing over the pages of a book. Do you really think I could? I mean, what if no one likes it? Then you keep writing. Every great writer has faced rejection, Claire reassured him. It is part of the process. If you don't take the leap, you'll never know what is possible. Okay, Ms. Henderson, I'll do it, he said, his voice steady with resolve. I am going to submit my work. Yes, sir. Claire cheered, her heart swelling with pride. Just remember, it is not about winning, it is about sharing your voice. As Rise and Shine took shape, the mentorship program flourished. Local artists and professionals stepped up to share their stories and skills. The classroom buzzed with energy as students engaged in hands-on learning experiences, their eyes lighting up with hope and possibility. One day, a local author visited, sharing her journey of navigating the publishing world. Claire watched in awe as her students hung on every word, their imaginations igniting like fireworks in the night sky. Who here believes they can write a book someday? The author asked, and hands shot up across the room, including Jake's. I do, he exclaimed, a spark of determination shining in his eyes. Claire felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. This was the moment she had dreamed of, a room filled with kids who dared to believe in their dreams. But just as hope surged, a storm brewed. Nathaniel's business faced unexpected financial challenges, threatening the funding for their mentorship program. When he called Claire to share the news, her heart sank. "What does this mean for the program?" she asked, fear creeping into her voice. "It means we need to rethink our budget and possibly scale back," he replied, his voice tinged with concern. "I am trying to find alternative funding, but it might take time." "We can't let this setback defeat us," Claire insisted, her resolve hardening. "We've come too far. Our students are counting on us." "I know," Nathaniel said, determination threading through his words. "We'll find a way. We just need to rally the community. Maybe we can hold a fundraiser, showcase the talent from the students. That's a brilliant idea. We can call it Voices of Tomorrow," Claire suggested, excitement bubbling inside her. "It would give our students a platform to share their work and raise awareness." "Let us make it happen," Nathaniel agreed, the fire of determination rekindling within him. As they prepared for Voices of Tomorrow, Claire and Nathaniel poured their hearts into every detail. They enlisted help from students, families, and community members. The energy was electric, and Claire felt the fire of hope reigniting in the hearts of her students. On the day of the event, the auditorium was packed. Families, local businesses, and community members filled the seats, eager to support the students. Claire stood backstage, her heart racing with anticipation. Nathaniel approached her, a reassuring smile on his face. "You've done an incredible job, Claire. Just look at this crowd. They believe in these kids." As the first student took the stage, Claire's heart swelled with pride. Each performance resonated with authenticity, showcasing the struggles and triumphs of youth. Jake recited his poem, weaving words that painted a vivid picture of hope amidst despair. When the final applause echoed through the auditorium, it was more than just a celebration, it was a testament to resilience and the triumph of the human spirit. After the event, Claire and Nathaniel stood together, basking in the overwhelming support. Fundraiser had not only garnered enough funds to sustain the mentorship program, but it had also ignited a spark of camaraderie within the community. People who once viewed the struggles of Lincoln High from a distance were now stepping in to support its students, eager to be part of their journeys. Claire smiled at Nathaniel, feeling the weight of their triumph. "I can't believe we did it. Look at this turnout. People really care." "They always have, Claire," Nathaniel replied, his voice filled with warmth. "Sometimes it just takes a little nudge to remind them of what truly matters. You've been that nudge for these students." As they surveyed the bustling crowd, Claire's gaze fell on Jake, who was animatedly discussing his poem with a few classmates. He radiated confidence, a stark contrast to the boy who had once sat in the back of her class, hiding behind a wall of self-doubt. "Look at him," Claire said, her voice barely above a whisper, filled with awe. "I can hardly recognize him." Nathaniel chuckled softly. "He is transformed because he learned the power of his voice. You've given him that opportunity." But as Claire's heart swelled with pride, a shadow of concern flickered in her mind. What if this is just a moment? What if he feels the pressure again and retreats? Nathaniel turned to her, his expression earnest. "That's why we need to keep building on this momentum. We can't let hope be a fleeting thing. We have to create systems of support so they know they are never alone." Just then, a commotion near the stage caught their attention. A group of students was gathered around a young girl named Mia, who was about to perform her spoken word piece. She was visibly shaking, her hands trembling as she clutched her notes. "Nathaniel, I think she is about to back out," Claire said, her heart sinking. "What if she doesn't do it?" "Let us go," he urged, his voice steady. They made their way through the crowd, reaching me just as she was turning to leave. "Mia, wait," Claire called softly. The girl turned, her eyes wide with fear. "I can't do it, the mess, Henderson. What if they don't like what I say?" Mia's voice shook, echoing the doubts that had plagued so many of her peers. Claire knelt down to Mia's level, her own heart racing. "Sweetheart, the audience is here because they care about you. They want to hear your story. You matter, and your words matter." Nathaniel added gently, "Mia, I've seen you pour your heart into this piece. It's not about impressing anyone. It's about sharing a part of yourself, your truth. That's where real beauty lies." Mia looked between them, uncertainty still etched on her face. "But what if I mess up?" "Messing up is part of the process," Claire said, her voice soft but firm. "What's important is that you stand up there and speak your truth. You'll surprise yourself." Taking a deep breath, Mia nodded slowly. "Okay, I'll try." With that small affirmation, Claire felt a wave of relief wash over her. As they guided me toward the stage, Claire whispered, "You can do this. Just remember, we're all here for you." When Mia stepped into the spotlight, the auditorium fell silent. Claire held her breath, watching the young girl take her rightful place, surrounded by the warmth of support from her peers. As she began to recite her piece, each word flowed with raw honesty, painting vivid images of her life and her dreams. The audience was captivated, hanging on to every syllable. Claire's heart swelled, and she felt tears prick at her eyes again, but this time, they were tears of joy. Nathaniel leaned closer to Claire, his gaze fixed on Mia. This is what it's all about, creating spaces where their voices can be heard. Yes, Claire breathed, her voice thick with emotion. It is about giving them wings to fly. By the end of her performance, the crowd erupted into applause, a wave of admiration washing over Mia. The smile on her face was radiant, illuminating the stage with its brilliance. Grinning from ear to ear, she stepped off the stage and into Claire's waiting arms. You did it, Mia, I am so proud of you. Claire exclaimed, her heart bursting with pride. I can't believe I actually did it. Mia's eyes sparkled with excitement. Thank you for believing in me, Ms. Henderson. As the event continued, the atmosphere filled with joy and laughter. Students who had once been hesitant to share their stories were now engaging with one another, their hearts open and their spirits soaring. Claire felt as though every moment spent fighting for their dreams had been worth it. However, as the night wore on, Claire stole a moment to step outside for some fresh air. She leaned against the wall, reflecting on the journey that had brought them here. The challenges had been daunting, but the rewards, the smiles, the stories, the hope made every struggle worthwhile. Nathaniel soon joined her, his expression contemplative. You okay? He asked, his concern evident. I can't help but think about how far we've come, but I also worry about the future, Claire admitted, her voice laced with vulnerability. What if this all fades away? Nathaniel shook his head. It won't, as long as people like you are here to ignite that spark, hope will endure. It's not about one event, it's about building a community that supports each other. You're right, Claire said, her heart swelling with renewed determination. But how do we keep this momentum going? I want this to be a turning point for them, not just a moment in time. We can create regular workshops, open mic nights, and community events that invite people to share their passions, Nathaniel suggested. Let us make Lincoln High a hub of creativity and support. Claire's enthusiasm bubbled over. Yes, we can involve local artists and mentors, create partnerships to sustain these programs. The kids need to see that this journey doesn't end here. Exactly, Nathaniel replied, a smile spreading across his face. If we can get the community involved, it can grow into something even bigger than we imagined. As they discussed their plans, Claire felt the spark of hope reigniting. They were not just building a program, they were creating a movement, a space where dreams could flourish. Weeks turned into months and their vision blossomed. The Voices of Tomorrow initiative evolved into a series of ongoing workshops and events, creating a safe haven for students to explore their creativity. Mia, Jake, and many others became ambassadors for their peers, encouraging participation and sharing their stories. Nathaniel's tireless efforts brought in local business support, and soon they had a steady stream of mentors eager to contribute. Each week, the auditorium buzzed with energy, filled with laughter and the sound of voices unearthing their passions. One sunny afternoon, Claire stood outside the school, watching as students rehearsed for an upcoming talent showcase. The excitement was palpable, and the air was thick with the scent of possibility. Ms. Henderson, Jake called out, bounding over with a notebook in hand. I've been working on a new poem, and I need your feedback. Claire couldn't help but smile at his infectious enthusiasm. Of course, I'd love to hear it. As he read his latest piece, filled with emotion and heart, Claire felt a swell of pride. Jake, this is beautiful. You've really captured something special here. He grinned, his confidence shining through. Thanks, I can't wait to share it at the showcase. Neither can I, Claire responded, her heart brimming with joy. You've come so far, and I am so proud of you. That is all thanks to you and Nathaniel, Jake said, his genuine admiration evident. You both believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. Claire's heart swelled at the compliment. You found that belief within yourself, Jake. You took the first step, and I am just glad I could be here to support you. As the showcase day approached, the excitement reached a fever pitch. Students poured their hearts into their performances, and the community rallied around them. The auditorium was packed once again, and Claire could feel the electric energy coursing through the air as families and friends cheered on their loved ones. Amidst the anticipation, Mia took the stage once more, her voice steady as she shared her journey. When I first stood here, I was terrified. I didn't think my words mattered, but now I know they do. Each of us has a story worth telling. The audience erupted in applause, and Claire felt a wave of joy wash over her. Each student who took the stage reminded her of the power they held within the ability to inspire, uplift, and support one another. As the night came to a close, Nathaniel and Claire stood together, beaming with pride. "We did it," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "Yes, we did," Claire replied, her heart swelling with gratitude. "But this is only the beginning. We have so much more to do." Looking out at the vibrant community surrounding them, students embracing their passions, families rallying for support, Claire realized they had forged a new path, one filled with hope, resilience, and the beauty of the human spirit. And as they embarked on this journey together, as the applause faded from the talent showcase, Claire took a deep breath, letting the vibrancy of the moment wash over her. The students had outdone themselves, their joy and creativity bursting forth like wildflowers through cracks in the pavement. Yet, as she glanced around the auditorium, she couldn't shake the nagging feeling that the journey was far from over. "Nathaniel," she said, her voice slightly trembling with determination, "this was incredible, but I keep thinking about the students who didn't participate. What about them?" Nathaniel nodded, his expression serious. "You're right, Claire. We've made strides, but we can forget those who still feel unseen." Claire's heart ached as she thought of the students who had sat on the sidelines, too shy or fearful to share their stories. "We need to create a culture where every student feels valued, where they can speak their truth without fear." "Absolutely," Nathaniel agreed. "But how do we reach those who feel invisible?" Claire pondered for a moment, her mind racing. "What if we start small? We could establish peer-led support groups, a safe space where students can share their experiences and build each other up. It might help those who feel isolated to connect." "That's a fantastic idea," Nathaniel said, his enthusiasm palpable. "We can integrate it into the Rise and Shine program. Let us involve some of the more confident students as leaders. They can help guide their peers." As the two of them brainstormed, a light flickered in Claire's heart. She saw a path forward, one that could embrace every student, not just the loudest voices in the room. However, the reality of implementing such a program weighed heavily on her shoulders. They would need resources, support, and above all, the trust of the students. "Let us meet with the student council," Nathaniel suggested. They'll have insights on the needs of their peers. The next day, Claire and Nathaniel found themselves in the bustling student council meeting. Claire watched as students animatedly discussed everything from school events to changes they wanted to see. The energy in the room was infectious, yet she noticed some students lingering in the background, their expressions a mix of interest and apprehension. "Hey everyone, thank you for letting us join you today," Claire began, her eyes scanning the room. "We're here to talk about a new initiative we're hoping to launch, a peer support program to help every student feel seen and heard." A ripple of murmurs spread across the room. One of the council members, a confident young woman named Maya, raised her hand. "What exactly do you mean by a peer support program?" Claire took a deep breath. "We want to create safe spaces where students can share their stories and struggles with each other. The idea is to build a network of support led by peers." Maya looked thoughtful. "I think that is a good idea, but what if someone feels uncomfortable sharing?" "That's why we want to have trained peer leaders," Nathaniel interjected. "They'll guide discussions, ensuring everyone feels respected and safe. Plus, the focus will be on listening and understanding, not judging." "What if they don't want to talk?" the boy in the corner, who had been quiet up until now, asked. "Some people just don't share." "Exactly," Claire replied, feeling her heart resonate with his honesty. "It's not about forcing anyone to speak. We want to create a space where they feel comfortable enough to open up when they're ready. It is about building trust." Maya nodded, her eyes brightening. "I think we could really use something like that. Many students feel like they're going through things alone. If we had a program like this, it could make a huge difference." The room buzzed with excitement as students began to chime in with ideas, and Claire felt a rush of hope. This was the moment when their vision was beginning to take shape. But even as she basked in the momentum, Claire understood that challenges lay ahead. Weeks later, they held the first support group meeting in the school library. Claire's heart raced as she set up chairs in a circle, looking at the sparse turnout. Only a few students had shown up, and she struggled to hide her disappointment. "Remember, this is just the beginning, Claire," Nathaniel reassured her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Every great movement starts small." "I know, but I just wish more students would see the value in it," Claire admitted, her voice tinged with frustration. As the students filed in, she noticed the hesitant expressions on their faces, some looked curious, while others seemed unsure. She took a deep breath, determined to make the most of this opportunity. Welcome, everyone. Claire greeted, her voice warm and inviting. I am so glad you are here. This is a space for you to share and connect, to find strength in each other's stories. One young girl, Jenna, spoke up. What if no one wants to listen to us? Her voice trembled, revealing a vulnerability that resonated with Claire. Jenna, this is what this space is for, Claire replied gently. It is about listening and validating one another. You are heard and your feelings are valid. We are all here to support each other. Slowly, the students began to open up, sharing their fears, hopes, and dreams. They watched in awe as they shared experiences that echoed in each other's hearts. It was raw and beautiful, and the air buzzed with newfound connection. As the weeks passed, word spread and more students began to attend. The support group blossomed into a lifeline for many, and Claire felt her spirit lift with each meeting. The once silent students were now finding their voices. One afternoon, as Claire prepared for the group, Jake approached her, his expression serious. Miss Henderson, can I talk to you for a minute? Of course, Jake, she replied, sensing the weight of his words. I want to help out with the support group, he said, determination etched on his face. I think it is important for people to feel safe sharing their struggles. I want to be a peer leader. Claire's heart soared. That is incredible, Jake. I'd love for you to be part of it. Your journey has inspired so many, and you can help others see that they're not alone. With Jake's enthusiasm, others soon followed suit. The support group evolved into a vibrant community. Students began to form bonds, rallying around each other like a protective shield against the world. But with growth came challenges. One evening, Claire received a call from Nathaniel, his voice laced with urgency. Claire, I just had a meeting with some board members. They were concerned that the support program might be too much of a distraction from academics. What? But this is essential for our students, Claire exclaimed, frustration bubbling to the surface. They need the support. I know, Nathaniel replied, his voice steady. But we need to find a way to address their concerns and show the board how this program directly benefits academic performance. We can gather data, testimonials, anything that proves its importance. Okay, I'll talk to the students, Claire said, her resolve hardening. We have to make them see how vital this is. The next day, she gathered the support group together. I have some news. There are concerns from the board about our program, and I want to hear your thoughts on how we can demonstrate its impact. Several students spoke up, sharing how the group had helped them cope with stress and anxiety, and how it made them feel more connected. Claire listened intently, feeling a wave of pride wash over her. Finally, Jake raised his hand. What if we put together a presentation? We could share our experiences, show them how the support group has changed us. It might help them understand. That is a fantastic idea, Jake, Claire said, her heart swelling with gratitude. Let us do it. With renewed motivation, the group began working on their presentation. They rehearsed, shared personal stories, and practiced how they would convey the value of the support program to the board. Weeks later, the day arrived for the presentation. Claire felt the familiar flutter of nerves in her stomach, but she also felt a fierce determination. She stood outside the boardroom with her students, their faces a mix of excitement and apprehension. Remember, you are powerful, Claire whispered to them. Your stories can make a difference. Jake nodded, his expression resolute. We got this. We were going to show them how much this matters. As they entered the boardroom, Claire's heart raced. The board members sat behind a long table, their expressions serious. She introduced her students, and with each story shared, the atmosphere shifted. The board members leaned in, listening intently as the students spoke about their struggles and the profound impact the support group had on their lives. When Jake spoke, his voice was steady, filled with conviction. Before this program, I felt lost, like no one understood me, but now I feel supported, and I know I am not alone. This isn't just about us, it is about creating a community where everyone can thrive. The room fell silent, the weight of his words resonating deeply. Claire watched as the board members exchanged glances, their expressions softening. After the presentations concluded, one of the board members, an older woman with kind eyes, spoke up. Thank you for sharing your experiences. It is clear that this